Hello, and welcome to this part of the pond where it's the Bullfrog and the Newt.
Face revealed 100,000 subscribers.
We can hope. And this is a deep dive, and we just barely finished Legends of the First Empire by Michael J. Sullivan. And it was a saga. It was very hard for me to listen to because I work at an auto dealer shop and I'm in the back getting rid of scratches, and I'm yawning. Yeah, that's what it is. Oh, something's in my eye. I have to hide the fact that I am crying. Yes, books can make us cry, but this one was evil. Because the character Roan, I feel like, has my disability. 50% chance. It's either Asperger's or what I have, language impairment. That was the first time in my life I've ever read such a thing. There is the movie Raccoon Boy that talks about Asperger's and such, but this one was a book. And the wealth of literature I've read, I have never read a character like this. I am not a woman, I haven't been abused by my dad, but reading the character Roan really hits home because I can't help remember being a child where I didn't understand the world. We were coming back from speech therapy. I was, 10 or 11, 12? And I just said one thing to her. How was your day, Mom? And I remember we were home. My mom talked to my dad saying how amazing it was that I asked her that question. And I understand it now, but back then I didn't understand why was that such a big thing. It wasn't because of what's going on. It was more the lines of I thought everything was normal, or the fact that if you get me on the right subject, I will go on for hours. Because like Roan, I have too many ideas. I can go on talking about different things. They're all over the place, and I can't help but realize after reading that character and how characters are saying about her, it's Roan. She has too many ideas. It's Bullfrog. He has too many ideas. It's amazing to see and understand how much different I am sometimes. I didn't know the personal space. Not like I'm going up to your face going, hi. Was I ever like that, Newt?
Nope.
But I wasn't able to understand the personal space of belongings. I mean, I didn't understand that with baseball cards that my brothers had. It was cool. My friends had baseball cards. I had a small collection, but I wanted to show that, hey, I got some cards too. And me not knowing the personal space of belongings, I kind of just picked them up and just carried them like, hey, this is what cards are, not knowing that I was stealing or didn't understand that that was bad. It didn't register at all. But having that sit down of parents going, Bullfrog, at age 12, going through middle school, which middle school for me was hell. That's the cleanest word I can say. It was hell. I was not only bullied, but I did the right thing in gym class, and the teacher talked to the kid to stop it. And what happened? The whole class ganged up on me. I did what was right, and I got the whole class against me. And then later on that same year, I had a guy that was physically beating me up. That was hell. And suddenly, during that whole deal, having that parents sitting me down and going, Bullfrog, you're actually not normal. You have what's called a language impairment. That's why you're so slow to understand things. That's why it's hard to absorb. And I quote, this is what I said to them, I feel like everyone's in NASCAR and I'm on a tricycle. That's how fast everything is. That's how hard. And what is language impairment? What is this all about? I'm saying these words, but you may understand Asperger's, but what is this? What's so unique about it? Well, in speech therapy, what helped a lot was a game called the conversation game, where my speech therapist had a ball. They would talk, throw the ball, I'd catch it, and I would talk and throw the ball, and they'd catch it. That's what a conversation is. You're playing ball. Now imagine that again, this is baseball, and I have a mitt, but my mitt can have a hole in it. I can grab it or it's going to go through. It's like I can receive information or throw it back. And me, I have a hole in my mitt I can't receive, and I have a hole in my hand I can't really throw. It's hard to grip. And that's what having my disability is kind of like. It's hard to grip, it's hard to throw. I thought, hey, um, once a week, everyone goes to this other school where they sit down and it's one-on-one with the teacher. And we talked about books, but trying to understand those letters and watching a lot of clips. When I was older, Lord of the Rings came out, and my speech therapist would sit me down and we would try to understand reactions. There's this program that came out on computers, and it was just basically focusing on facial expressions. That's all what it was about, facial expression. Like with Roan, she couldn't read anyone, but she could read Gifford. With me growing up, I didn't really read anyone except probably my mom and dad and not really little sister. Sorry, sis, but we were kind of a struggle, both of us to begin with. So, but I don't apologize for bothering you. But with years of speech therapy, I'm a lot more, well, not really, but I'm a lot more understanding and such. I'd never been this open before, let alone have a camera in front of me or Newt behind it. There are so many people that have learning disabilities, and I started to realize something. As awesome as it is to have that representation, this could be a tool. Imagine that. A subject where someone didn't represent you, but someone can be a tool. This bridge that has never been, where my parents and speech therapists can actually experience my head. Whether it could be me or someone with Asperger's. It's one of these two, I know for sure, because both of us are eerily related, our disabilities.
I would have guessed it.
And hearing this right now, someone who's outside, Newt, tell me, what do you think of hearing about this and growing up with me for a little bit? Did you ever notice these things?
Yeah, I definitely noticed some of the personal space issues, and it was a bit of a challenge, but I don't know. I see how far you've come. And you're a different person than you were back when we were growing up, and that's amazing.
Yeah, and I know I didn't notice things a lot when I was growing up. Again, I thought it was normal. And oh my goodness, I've been talking a lot. I need some Coca-Cola Zero. But I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And as a lot of people know, we go on 2-year missions. I didn't. I had a tailored mission. And I really didn't get called. My grandparents were helping with a mission that had in Florida that was struggling. So they were down there. So my parents and grandparents got together and realized this is the only chance I can have a mission for my church. And it was like 7 months, not 2 years. And imagine how hard it is knowing that everyone normal had 2 years or a year and a half if you're a woman of our church. But I had such a limited time. It was not that much. But it doesn't mean I didn't have a whole mission. But when people talk about their missions, I almost feel ashamed. It's not that I feel ashamed. I just feel like I didn't have that. I had months. But it doesn't mean I didn't do that much. And that whole experience in Florida, which I've now fallen in love with, has really, it's amazing to see and understand how much different I am sometimes. I didn't get full 2 years. I that second school was actually speech therapy. I'm not living in my parents' basement because I don't have a job. This wasn't here, people. This isn't something that, oh, Bullfrog is living with us, throw him in the basement. No, this is my money. My parents helped refurbish the basement, but this was my money. I took years to earn. And this wasn't so to be thrown down here. This was to help me be a form of independence. It's not that I'm totally dependent, it's just that this is a slow process even for me. And don't get me on dating because that is too hard, very hard. It's almost to the point that as much as I've always wanted to be married, it almost feels like a miracle it could happen. It doesn't mean I'm stopping, but that's how the limits that I have make it hard to not only read people, but let's face it, women are very harder for me to read, and it's harder to have that connection. Not understand a woman is flirting. I do not know what flirting looks like. When I say something, it's honesty. So it's not that I'm trying to flirt, I'm being honest. But when someone's flirting with me, I have no idea what they're doing. So imagine how hard that is I want to have a family, but I need to have that emotional connection. And this is more than a deep dive. As you can tell, this is a lot more emotionally deeper. And I'm sorry, but I see my cousin Newt there having a little bit of an emotional breakdown going, oh my gosh, I haven't heard this before. I've never been this open before. Because it's not that I'm ashamed by it. It's just that I never had this level of comfort with it. It's been a hard time. And I'm not, I mean, this disability will always be with me. There's no cure for disabilities like this, but there's ways to help it. I mean, I'm trying to write a book, and I'm going through books, which when I was diagnosed, the doctor said he won't be able to read. I mean, did you know that, Newt? So this is like a testament that I am not asking for pity. I'm saying, look at this. Because of hard work. This wasn't a gift. This was hard work and sweat that made these walls come as they are. Put this couch, these posters, well, some of them were actually Christmas gifts. Love my family. But some of these things are from sweat. None of this was given. This is not cry pity for me. This book is a tool. Again, I'm not a woman. I haven't been abused by my dad, but saying the fact that this could be a tool, not an exact tool, but a tool for Asperger's or language impairment, that I think is far more powerful and far more touching to actually say, hey, mom, dad, read her and study and really listen in Age of Swords. And you can actually have a better window of what's in here. Because of Rome, because of Michael J. Sullivan. I already fell in love with him. There's Rhaenyra Revelations and Rhaenyra Chronicles. Highly recommend people read them, read them, read them. But with Age of Swords, of Legends of the First Empire, that just blew everything out of the water. This was revolutionary for me. Oh my gosh, there's someone like me. Oh my gosh, this can help people understand what the crap I have. It's a gateway tool to the brain. Whew, I need a deep pressure after all this, but this is probably this is the first of my lifetime, but this is probably the first video of someone of my disability speaking out. There's not that many people with this. This could be the first one. And this is, I hope, not the last one. That people that have learning disabilities be a little bit more loud. And it doesn't matter if we're being represented or not. It's just that as hard as life is, it doesn't mean it amounts to nothing. These walls came from hard work. This couch came from hard work. These blankets were because I like blankets and I like to snuggle well. Yes, a man can snuggle and still watch Lord of the Rings or Planet of the Apes. The Andy Serkis ones. Let's face it, Andy Serkis rocks. He has the stamp. Hope I didn't hurt the mic with that. Oops. But Andy Serkis people, love him! Sullivan, if miracle of miracles happen and you're seeing this video, whether you're aiming for my disability or Asperger's, I don't care. You did good. You did amazing. You've become the author of my heart, man. I may be doing a lot of praise on you, and this is probably the first deep dive on your books. This may be the first one, but I bet it's not the last. But I'm wanting to give Newt a shout out because he has helped a lot during high school. He was a good friend and my cousin. And this is the Bullfrog and the Newt signing out. So please like, share, subscribe, and share. Let this video come out and really open up more people to learn and experience. And this may be a single croak, but this is the Bullfrog saying, yes, I can do it, so can you. Yeah.